Karl, what is all this mess? How many times have I told you? Clean as you go. Clean as you go.
Okay, right, Steve. Righto. Clean as you go. You clean, I'll go.
Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum. Yum, yum. Yum, yum.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of One Chef One Critic. I'm Karl Wells, food critic for The Telegram.
And I'm Chef Steve Watson of Central Dairies.
And Stephen, I have heard you say clean as you go, clean as you go, clean as you go so many. If I had $1 for every time I've heard you say that. This is like a mantra with you, but why is it so important that we clear and clean as we are preparing our meals?
Absolutely, Karl. Well, look at this. All this mess right here. How can we think of our task at hand when we've got all this? What I would be doing is clean this and I'm going, I would have a spatula or something like this, and I would have a vessel to the side of me and really clean it up, and then be thinking about next task on the recipe. So let's get all that cleaned up. Now look at that beautiful board. Now we can move on to, it could be produce, it could be seafood, it could be poultry, or whatever the case may be.
So it really, by keeping a clear, clean work surface, it helps you kind of focus on the task at hand.
Exactly.
And you're not at all distracted by the mess you're creating as you're going through the preparation of the meal.
And in the end, working on a small quarter of the board.
It's, yeah, you're right. It's a very important thing. So clean as you go, folks. Coming up on the program today, we have meteorologist Ryan Snodden of CBC's Here and Now with us. And what are we going to be preparing for Ryan?
Today we're going to be making a traditional French dish, a beef bourguignon, and we're serving that in an Idaho potato.
Oh my goodness, that sounds delicious. Also, we have Chef Michelle LeBlanc with us from Chinched Bistro, and Michelle is going to show us how to make a really classic dessert called Baked Alaska. They're coming back apparently, so stay tuned. For a complete listing of One Chef One Critic recipes, wine lists, and more, check out our website. Let us know what you think of the show at 757-9600. And here we are with Ryan Snodden of Here and Now. And welcome to One Chef One Critic, Ryan.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Excellent.
Well,
Excellent.
Our pleasure. So, tell Ryan what we're going to be making. It's a special dish just for him.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ryan, I know you have a very busy lifestyle, and normally a beef bourguignon is a slow-cooked meal. But today we're actually going to be making it with a beef tenderloin. We're going to be sautéing that off with a little bit of red wine sauce. And Karl is going to be sautéing some lardons of slab bacon, some pearl onions, and some mushrooms. So let's get started then, shall we?
Nice.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'll just cut the last of the tenderloin up, and then we will put a little bit of paprika, a little bit of oil in the pan, and then I'll get you to start stirring it.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
This is going to be noisy. I can just tell we're going to have lots of sizzles here. There we go. Driving the audio guy crazy, but can't be helped, I guess.
Then we'll just put a little bit of oil in there, and then I'll give that to you, and you can pop that into the pan as well. That's all for you. And I'll get on with the mushrooms off the board.
Yeah, and just be gentle when you put it in. Maybe you should try doing it this way.
Don't just dump it upside
down.
down.
All of that oil is going to splash back on you.
Yeah, that would not
I
be
don't
good.
need to be taking over your duties, Ryan.
Okay.
I don't want you to get hurt.
No, we don't want any injuries on the set
I'm
here.
I'm actually the health and safety officer on this set. So you hail from away, as we say in Newfoundland. Tell us about where you were born and brought up.
Well, I was born and raised on, fittingly, a beef farm in Ontario. So, and now actually it was my great-grandparents' farm, first of all, and then my grandparents' farm. And when I was about 10 years old, my dad officially took it over. So
it's generations. It's been in the family for generations.
And actually, my great-grandfather bought it from his uncle. So it's a hand-me-down. It is. The farm has been in the Snodden family name since the late 1880s, I believe.
Wow. So just give us an idea geographically. Where is it situated? We're looking at a map of Ontario.
So if you picture Toronto, it's almost directly straight north of Toronto. If you look at the Great Lakes, there's a lake. Lake Simcoe is in the middle of the Great Lakes there, west of Peterborough. Barrie is right on the lake.
Right.
And it's the farm's just on the south side of Lake Simcoe. So it's farm country.
Yeah.
It's rural. So rural that we live on Snodden Road. Right. So,
I'm going to have to check to see if I can get our street named Wells Drive or something.
Oh, I think you'd have no problem there.
yeah.
Anyway, tell me about, the beef farm. Is it just beef you raise?
Yeah, it's now when my dad was growing up, they had some pigs and chickens, and but farming's kind of came a kind of a tough bracket to make a living, especially if you weren't like a big operator in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
So my dad actually is a full-time lineman and a full-time farmer, one of those.
I am a lineman for the county.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, he had some help with 3 boys.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So the 4 of us kind of kept it
going.
Kept it going, and we now have about 40 head of cattle at all times. Usually, about 20 cows, 20 calves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is it true that you try to get home about 3 times a year to help on the farm?
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny. Every time I'm home, there's some kind of big project to be done. Conveniently.
Yeah. So, are you there when, to help with the birthing of the calves? And
usually, yeah. I always try and get home in the spring. For a trip home, and anywhere from March through till June, there are calves kind of on the way. So definitely, I've delivered my fair share of calves.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
So what's that like?
It's interesting. It's interesting when you're 10, 12 years old, or even a teenager. You don't really think about it too much what you're actually being asked to do. But sometimes there's some complications, and the calf's too big, so you put her in the barn and tie the cow up and go in with a rope and tie the rope around the calf's legs and give her a hand to deliver. So yeah,
but you kind of have to be a bit of a veterinarian too, don't you?
You learn a lot. You definitely learn a lot.
So I guess there wasn't much to tell you about the facts of life.
No, definitely. Definitely not. It was definitely an interesting childhood growing up, for sure.
Yeah. So then you decided to get into broadcasting.
Well, yeah, that's my first big love for sure was broadcasting. I love hockey, love sports. I also love news. And of course, being born and raised on a farm, I love the weather. So I decided to take journalism first. So that's why I went to Loyalist in Belleville, just down the road from the farm there. And so that was really my first job, was reporting
radio, TV.
TV. Then I landed a job on the morning show in Peterborough on a rock station. Which was a very cool job, other than getting up at 3:30 in the morning.
That's right. Yeah.
Other than that, it was a really, really cool job.
It's one of the drawbacks of early morning radio.
Carl, can I just get you pop the mushrooms in there as well?
Oh,
That'd
yes,
be great.
of course. Yes, certainly. There you go. Consider them popped.
How's that doing, Steve? Am I
Perfect.
doing,
Absolutely.
doing a
You're
good job?
stirring great. So what we're going to do...
Don't worry about hurting my feelings.
No.
So is it true that your brother is in broadcasting as well?
Yeah, he took journalism, took radio, and still trying to kind of get into the biz. But he's also...
He's younger than you? Or?
He's younger than me,
okay.
yeah. He's just...
So he's following in Big Brother's footsteps.
That's right.
He wants to be Ryan.
I guess. I don't know. I thought I could have discouraged him by now, but he's still going for it.
So I guess your folks can watch you on TV up there.
That's one of the beauty things about technology
That's
now.
right.
Yeah, they have a satellite dish.
Excellent.
The time change doesn't exactly work out all the time, but whenever they've got a PVR now.
Oh,
so
excellent. Okay.
That's right. And it's usually they're talking about, oh, you're still delivering the bad weather this time of year, right?
Well, Ryan, what I'm going to quickly do now, I'm just going to put a little bit of cognac in there, and we'll see if we can get a little bit of a flame on there.
Ooh.
There we go. Perfect.
Nice.
There we go.
Congratulations.
Bravo.
Yeah.
So you just kind of let that
We're just going to let
burn
that
off.
burn off now, and then Karl, we'll just put a little bit of the red wine sauce in there as well. We can put a ladle of that in there now.
So that's going to kind of give it just that extra little bit of flavor,
Extra.
that je ne sais quoi.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
Yes.
There we go.
Now, that's good. Perfect.
I'm so delighted that we picked a beef dish because, you know, we've got a beef farmer here.
I thought you picked it on purpose.
No, I didn't. No.
The ultimate would have been a dairy farmer, but yeah.
All I was thinking was, Ryan's coming on the show, we should cook something really nice for him, right?
Oh, nice.
And I figured you were kind of a meat and potatoes guy, so there you go. Yeah. What was it like transitioning from the Ontario culture to Newfoundland? That must have been an adjustment.
Definitely an adjustment, but I think the thing I love about here the most is that, especially St. John's, you're in the city, 2 seconds later, you're in the country. Pippi Park is right there, Butterpot Park. You literally have to drive 10 minutes out of the city, and you're in the middle of nowhere, which is...
And the smell of the ocean.
And that's right, the ocean is right next door as well. So
right.
this is that's what makes this city really appealing to me.
I'm going to go to the wine cellar and find a nice bottle of wine. In the meantime, you guys can talk about how difficult it was for you to get used to the Newfoundland dialects.
Perhaps a little more so for you than me, right?
I came here from some edumacation, and I fit quite in. So.
Hi, it's
Hi,
great to
Karl.
see you,
You too.
Andrea Maunder of Bacalao. Well, we have a French-inspired dish, I guess. Well, essentially, I think it's a boeuf bourguignon, beef and burgundy. So I'm thinking a pretty robust wine to go with this. What do you
Absolutely,
think?
yep. And we've got it in baked potatoes.
Oh,
So
yes.
we're having a little
Yep.
bit more of a casual approach to it.
Yes.
So rather than go with a wine from Burgundy, which is, of course, the Pinot Noir region of France, we've gone with Pinot Noirs and something a little different, but from other regions of the world.
Okay.
So we're going to start with the Pili Island Pinot Noir Reserve, one of my favorites. I love this winery. I love the winemaker. I love the owner. They just do a wonderful job. Amazing price points and super great value. This is a Pinot Noir Reserve from Pili Island. Very sustainable on Pili Island because they're in a nature reserve area, so they've always had ecological practices. Gorgeous Pinot Noir.
Probably a bit of a microclimate there, too, is it?
It really is, yeah. And it's the oldest winery in Canada.
Wow.
Which is something people,
didn't know
people
that.
don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. This is Mud House. It's a Pinot Noir from Central Otago in New Zealand. So we are going here for, again, those Pinot characteristics, but just a little bit of a lighter style because of the climate in New Zealand. And that's a delicious choice as well. And then, I know some people like to drink white no matter what they're eating, and so I've chosen Marqués de Riscal, which is a Limousin, so it's from Spain, and this is Verdejo grapes that have seen a lot of lees contact, so it means a lot of contact with the yeast, and oaking. So it's delivering kind of raisiny, a little bit of oxidized qualities, so it's going to have a fuller mouthfeel, and for a white, it's going to stand up to a dish of meat and potatoes. And the price points here are 16, 24, and 22.
Okay, so Ryan Snodden is our guest today. He's a farm boy from Ontario. They farm beef. We've got a beef dish. And I just think I'm going to close the circle and go with an Ontario red wine. So this Pili Island Pinot Noir it's just speaking to me.
Yeah, and it's close to his little heart, I would think.
I bet. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Now we've mixed all our ladons of bacon and our onions and our mushrooms. We're going to pour that nicely into our Idaho potato. A little bit more red wine sauce, I think. Get some out of here. Final nappe over there. A little wiping of the plate. A little garnish. And I'm sure Ryan and Karl are going to enjoy this one, aren't they? So let's go to the table.
Some red wine.
Thank you, sir.
Have a taste, Ryan. It is very tender looking. Yes, it is. It's cutting beautifully. Oh, yeah. It's succulent. And that sauce, that burgundy sauce,
With a little bit of cognac in there.
beautiful. I can taste the forest from the mushrooms.
Yeah.
Tastes just like Snodden Road to me.
There you go. Yeah, it's like
Straight from the
bringing
farm.
bringing back home to you, right?
Thank you
Which is
very
great.
much.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Great job, guys.
Now, I want to give you something. You know, for half my life, I did what you're doing now, of course, as you know, the weather on Here and Now. And when I left, I created a little box of memories for myself, just to remind me of what I did and of the great times that I had. There's one thing that I have, which I want to part with. I think you should have it.
Oh,
okay?
wow.
It's going to bring tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
This is the thermometer I used when I did my outside weather broadcasts. A lot of people will recognize this because it was on television literally hundreds of times. And I would turn it on. If you go to the left, it's Celsius. If you go to the right, it's Fahrenheit. It's now 24.2 degrees in this house. So anyway, I want you to take it.
Oh,
and
wow,
maybe
thank you very
one of
much.
these days, when you meet your successor, you can give it to him or her.
Well, thank you very
Okay?
much.
There
Thank
you
you.
go.
That's
Okay.
very, very kind of you.
And one more thing.
This is a famous thermometer.
And one more thing, you know, because I did the weather outside, a lot of people wanted me to stay warm, so the viewers would send me mittens, and they'd knit scarves for me, and sweaters, all that kind of stuff. These were made for me by a beautiful lady who's no longer around, who lived on the Northern Peninsula, and she wanted me to have them, and they have a trigger finger. See?
Oh, that's handy.
So, and I know you're a hunter.
Yes.
So you can wear these hunting. But really, it's to remind you about the most important people in our business, and that's the viewers.
Definitely.
That's who we do everything for. It's the people out there. And so take these.
Thank you. I feel like these are...
Yeah. Take these and remember who put us where we are.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
That's a really very kind
You're
of you.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I will make sure I take very good care of those.
Yeah.
And, you know, I love my job, but you're a living legend. So can I tell a quick story?
I'm just glad I'm living.
I have to tell a quick story that a lot of the camera guys still tell at CBC. The Queen was here.
That's right.
Bonavista.
Yeah, that's
Do you remember what year that
Yes.
was?
It was 1997, I think. Yeah.
And so the camera guys were all waiting for the Queen to come. And they were at the ready, and they heard this huge round of applause. And they thought, okay, the Queen's coming. So they turned the cameras on, and up over the hill came Karl Wells. So this is it. There's no way that...
I can't even describe that because I kind of freaked out because I'm like, what's the matter with these? And they started chanting my name. Karl! Karl! And it got louder. And all of these British reporters were saying, who the heck is that guy? Is that like the Prime Minister or something? Anyway.
It's still a story that is told within the building, and it's a great story.
I'm glad you enjoyed the story. Anyway, much success to you,
Thank
young
you
man,
very
in your
much.
career. It's been great having you on One Chef, One Critic.
Thanks for
Ryan
having me.
Snodden, folks, watch him tonight on TV. Coming up next, our guest chef is Michelle LeBlanc, pastry chef of Chinched, and she's going to show us how to make baked Alaska. Stick around. Chinched Bistro, 7 Queen Street in downtown St. John's, may be small in terms of space, but it is a giant in terms of the impact it's had on the culinary scene in the city of St. John's. It's one of a handful of 4-star restaurants in the city, and that's because of the locally sourced ingredients, the in-house made charcuterie, and their fabulous desserts and homemade breads. The co-owner of Chinched, the pastry chef of Chinched Bistro as well, is with us. She is Michelle LeBlanc, and it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
And what tempting treat are you going to make for us today, Michelle?
Well, dessert always gets people. So one of our more popular items on the menu is a homemade ice cream. So we always have homemade ice cream. We try to change up the flavors and the preparations on occasion. Right now what we're doing is a baked Alaska, or our take on a baked Alaska. So today
We're going back to the 60s.
way
now.
back in the day, and it kind of started as a joke, actually.
Absolutely,
sort of reviving old recipes. If
And
you
there's
will.
nothing wrong with that.
No,
Nothing wrong
and
with
like I said, everyone
Well, I
loves
tell you
ice
what,
cream.
they're reviving old cocktails now.
Exactly.
I am all for it.
Manhattans are back.
Yeah, that's right.
So how do we create it?
At the restaurant, as I said, we do make our own ice cream, and the baked Alaska is our take on that. the ice cream machine is a little loud, and so today I just thought I'd bring the prepared product. And this can be done at home without making your own ice cream in a more simple way, just having the ice cream from the grocery store.
That's
and
right, yeah.
a little Swiss meringue for yourself.
Okay,
So
let's
today
assemble.
we're going to assemble a chocolate baked Alaska.
Oh my
My
goodness.
goodness, look at, that looks so rich.
It's got a lot of chocolate in
That
it.
looks
It looks like a
so
dark chocolate as well,
It
doesn't
is,
it?
yeah. We
yeah.
try to buy as flavorful of a chocolate as we
Really
can get
good
our
quality,
hands on.
really
Yeah.
good quality. Of course, you've become an expert at making chocolate, or making ice cream, I should
Yes,
say.
I've certainly got
Having been
lots of
the
experience.
creative force behind Growler's Ice Cream and Fogo.
Yes, yeah. So
Yeah.
just a little on the middle of the plate there.
Okay.
A
Now,
nice,
why did you put that little dab on the bottom?
because it'll hold it as I'm
Okay.
piping the meringue.
Right,
I'm just
okay.
gonna set that.
A little trick, I think.
A little trick of the trade.
Heat,
so to speak.
absolutely.
So this is the fun part. It's actually my favorite.
And this is a Swiss meringue, you say?
It is a Swiss meringue, so it's twice the sugar to egg yolks,
Mm-hmm.
and then you heat it over a double boiler until the sugar has melted nicely.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. And once the sugar has melted into the egg whites, we just put it in a stand mixer with a whisk attachment and
Okay.
whisk it until it's nice and thick. And it's a great way, because most ice creams use egg yolk based, this is a great way to use the egg whites.
Okay,
So that
yeah,
way
yeah.
you're using the entire ingredient and you're not losing anything.
Great for food cost.
Great for food cost, which is
Yeah.
critical to small businesses.
Absolutely,
Of course,
yeah.
yeah.
How many seats do you have in the restaurant?
We have approximately 40, depending on the seating arrangements. We can
Yeah.
do up to 45, but a busy evening for us would be approximately 50 or 60.
Oh, okay.
Michelle, you've been president of the Restaurant Association of Newfoundland and Labrador. How has that experience been for you?
It's been great, actually. I just stepped down from that position, so I'm currently the past president,
Past
but
president,
still
okay.
very involved. Thank you.
Can I take that?
With the association on many levels. Now the fun part, I get to blow torch it.
Look out, Karl.
There we go. I was going to say, I saw Julia Child make a grilled cheese sandwich with a blowtorch once.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the first time I'd ever seen a blowtorch used with food, for food prep.
We do like the blowtorch in the kitchen. Certainly for the baked Alaska, traditionally it would be baked in the oven, of course.
Yeah.
However, for our purposes and sort of speed, if you will, during dinner service, the blowtorch certainly helps. So here we just have a little homemade chocolate sauce, because the chocolate ice cream isn't quite enough.
Yeah.
No,
A little
gotta-
extra goes a long way here.
These 1960s desserts were always kind of OTT.
Yeah.
All the decadence you can get.
Yeah.
So just a little garnish here
swoosh.
on the plate, a
Yeah.
swoosh, if you will. And then we've got some candied orange, because orange and chocolate is such a classic
Absolutely,
pairing.
yeah.
I bet you candied that yourselves, did
We
you?
do, yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
yeah.
A little sugar, a little vanilla, and
It goes a long way,
and
doesn't it?
Yeah, you just need a little bit, but it's always fun to play with. A little extra flavor,
And mint?
and some mint to make it lovely.
Fresh from the garden.
Of course, I've got some growing on my windowsill at the restaurant and at home.
Oh, very good.
And then here we've just got some little shortbread pig cookies.
Oh, my goodness.
Because that's your logo.
Yes. You got to bring the pig to the dessert plate as well. You don't want to leave
Very
anything
good.
out. And there we are.
That looks absolutely amazing.
Very quick, very
Thank you.
simplistic, very flavorful. as
Yeah,
well.
and like I said, because you can change the garnish and the ice cream itself, it's always fun. You can play around with whatever flavor combinations you like.
And I'm just going to take a little bit from behind and see what that tastes like, because
Yeah.
I can't resist.
You just want to
tastes
squeeze
quite
it, yeah,
chocolatey.
before the ice cream.
That's really good.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you very much for being with us,
problem.
Michelle. And that's it for this edition of
One Chef.
One Critic.
I think you should pass me a spoon.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. Is that what we're doing? That is what we're doing, yeah. Okay, sorry. I'm getting all confused. Hi, everybody. I'm Karl Wells. No. That's wrong. No. Hi, everybody. No, that's wrong, too.